Your brand is losing sales, attention, and trust because of one marketing factor. Your brand looks small, but Supreme, they hacked perception. They looked iconic before they actually even were. The secret isn't popularity or fame. It's a visual trick you're meant to steal. We're Pink Studio Central, the team behind visual strategy for breakout brands. Let's show you how it's done using the same exact method Supreme uses. The first question every brand must ask itself is this: what do people already believe about my brand, even if that belief is exaggerated? Because branding does not operate on facts alone, it operates on perception. The beliefs you are cultivating or attempting to cultivate are not lies, they are emotional conclusions. They are states of being shaped by repetition, presentation, restraint, and consistency. Brand psychology consistently shows that purchase decisions are driven far more by identity alignment than by product features. In multiple consumer studies, over 70% of buyers report choosing brands that reflect how they want to see themselves, not necessarily with those superior specifications. Your objective then is not to simply sell a product, but to sell a specific state of being and lock into that specific state of being. When a customer interacts with your brand, they should immediately understand who the brand is for and who they become buying it. Small businesses consistently fail at this point because they focus on describing what they do instead of shaping what people believe when they buy. They tell others what they do or what they sell, what features their product has. None of that differentiates. None of that creates belief. Contrast that with what Supreme made people believe, not with what they said, but what the audience concluded. People believed that the drop was rare only at insiders got access. In reality, Supreme produced millions of units annually. The scarcity it created was not logistical, but rather perceptual. They never disclosed production volume or corrected assumptions. They allowed belief to do all the work. This is a critical principle. Brands do not need to fabricate facts. They only need to curate interpretation. And this mechanism is not exclusive to streetwear. Any brand in any category can apply it by defining the belief they want to anchor. For example, saying we only work with elite creatives signals selectivity and taste. Or everything is handcrafted, nothing is mass-produced. Signals care and time and intentionality. Whether every detail is literally true is not the point. What matters is every visible action reinforces the belief that you want to create. Because once the belief is established, customers stop asking questions. They stop comparing prices. They stop shopping around. They align. And alignment is where brands stop competing and they start compounding. Now that we've identified the belief you want to create, the next question becomes far more important. How do you create that belief without ever saying it out loud? This is where Supreme truly excelled. Supreme did not persuade through messaging. What they did was validate belief through visual evidence. Their strategy relied on two interconnected systems. One, visual restraint, and two, structural consistency in how the brand appeared, operated, and released product. Minimalist design was not for aesthetics, but for signaling credibility. From the beginning, Supreme used clean layouts, limited color palettes, and an absence of visual noise. This stripped away anything that felt promotional or desperate. Research in consumer psychology shows that minimal environments are associated with wealth, confidence, and authority, while clutter is subconsciously linked to low trust and low value. Even when Supreme was still a small skate shop, their physical spaces told a different story. They used open layouts, negative space, and gallery-like interiors to create that feeling of $1 billion penthouse, long before the company was worth anything close to that. This is a critical branding principle. Equally important was their obsessive consistency. This matters because brand familiarity is built through repetition. Studies show that visual consistency can increase brand recognition by over 82%, while frequent aesthetic changes fragment trust and weaken emotional attachment. When brands constantly change their palettes, layouts, or overall look, they introduce friction. Customers struggle to internalize the brand, and the alignment that was mentioned earlier is weakened. The relationship never fully forms. Supreme eliminated that friction entirely. And then there was what may be their most underappreciated tactic: Brand silence. Supreme never ever over-explained itself. They never justified pricing or defended decisions. They simply released a product, maintained the logo, and let a handful of minimalist stores speak for them. Psychologically, brands that explain less are perceived as more confident, while those who constantly justify themselves appear uncertain, even if their product is objectively good. The takeaway here is not that you should copy Supreme's exact aesthetic or as tactics. That would be a mistake. The takeaway is that the belief is reinforced through behavior, not language. Your brand's visuals, cadence, silence, and consistency must all point in the same direction. Every visible decision should quietly answer the question, what kind of brand is this? When those signals align, the belief becomes certain. Supreme never explained its value to the market, and that was deliberate. They never justified their prices or chased cultural moments, nor did they reposition when customers copied them en masse. Instead, they maintained a fixed identity while the rest of the industry went around them. This matters because brands that feel the need to constantly explain their value usually don't have any. Supreme understood a core branding principle early. Perceived value collapses the moment you begin negotiating it. While competitors diluted themselves through seasonal reinventions, Supreme never shifted character, not even when fast fashion brands replicated their designs at scale. Copying did not threaten them because identity, not aesthetics, was the real selling point. Now to contrast that with what most brands do. Too many brands quietly kill their own belief system without realizing it. They do so through constant discounts, excessive posting, inconsistent messaging, and tactics meant to boost engagement. Individually, these actions seem harmless, but collectively, they do send out signals to an identity that isn't one of luxury and status. According to pricing psychology research, brands that discount more than 20 to 25% of the time train customers to delay purchases, reducing long-term margins by as much as 30 to 40%. Similarly, social media studies show that overexposure reduces perceived prestige, particularly in premium categories. This is not to say posting frequently or offering promotions is inherently bad. That's a misunderstanding of the problem. The real variable is how those actions interact with your ICP, your ideal customer profile. For example, if you are a water bottle brand targeting millennial mothers, high posting frequency might actually increase trust. Visibility signals reliability. Promotions may reinforce convenience rather than cheapness. In this context, discounts do not erode brand value because value is not derived from exclusivity. But now consider the opposite scenario. If you're positioning yourself as a luxury, premium, or aspirational water brand, even before you're objectively luxury, your job is not to chase demand. Your job is to discipline perception. Luxury brands do not act according to revenue needs. They act according to identity constraints. Frequent discounts weaken internal conviction. Overposting creates familiarity, and familiarity destroys the mystique. The market reads this subconsciously, and so do you, because identity is not just external, it must be reinforced internally as well. Supreme stayed consistent because it was safe, but because consistency is expensive, it requires saying no to short-term wins in order to protect long-term authority. Supreme did not become iconic because of marketing. They became iconic because they built a belief, and they designed every part of their brand to support it. You can do the same.